Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you've been playing the wrong game your entire life. Not because you weren't smart enough, not because you didn't work hard enough, but because nobody ever taught you the rules. Every morning, billions of people wake up, commute to work, trade their time for money, go home exhausted, and repeat the exact same cycle for the next 40 years. They believe that if they work harder, stay longer, or sacrifice more, one day they'll finally become wealthy. But what if? That's the biggest lie modern society has ever sold. Because here's something that should terrify you. The hardest working people on earth are rarely the richest. Construction workers work harder than billionaires.
Nurses work harder than CEOs. Factory workers work harder than investors. So if hard work creates wealth, why isn't everyone working 12-hour shifts a millionaire? Something doesn't add up. In 1997, a young engineer walked into Silicon Valley with almost nothing. He wasn't famous. He didn't come from a billionaire family. He didn't invent Facebook, Tesla, or Amazon. Yet decades later, he quietly became one of the wealthiest and most respected investors in the world. His name, Naval Ravikant. And according to Naval, almost everyone is chasing money the wrong way. Because money isn't created by working harder. It's created by something far more powerful. A force so important that once you understand it, you never look at work the same way again. That force
Is called leverage. Chapter 1, The Invisible Prison. Let's play a simple game. Imagine you're the best heart surgeon on Earth. Patients fly across continents just to meet you. You charge $10,000 for every surgery. Sounds incredible, right? Now imagine you become twice as skilled. Can you suddenly perform 2 surgeries at the exact same time? Of course not. You still have only 24 hours. This is the invisible prison. Almost everyone lives inside. Doctors, lawyers, designers, engineers, even business owners. Most people don't actually sell products. They sell their time. And time is the only resource that can never be replaced. You can always make more money. You can always start another business, but you will never, ever get another hour back. And that's exactly why Naval says you will never get rich renting out your time. Because no matter how valuable your hour becomes, it still has a ceiling. Now here's the crazy part. While you're reading this, someone you've never heard of is making money. Not because they're working, not because they're awake, but because they built something that works without them. How? That's where leverage changes everything. Chapter 2, The Lever That Changed Civilization. Thousands of years ago, a Greek mathematician named Archimedes made a bold statement. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I can move the earth. He wasn't talking about wealth, but he accidentally explained the entire modern economy. A lever allows a tiny force to create a massive result. Today, the lever isn't made of steel. It's made of software, media, artificial intelligence, and the internet. For almost all of human history, one person's work could only affect a handful of people. A teacher taught 30 students. A writer sold a few thousand books. A musician performed to whoever fit inside a theater. Today, one YouTube video can reach 100 million people. One app can be downloaded by 1 billion users. One tweet can move stock markets. For the first time in history, an ordinary person can create extraordinary impact without owning a factory, without raising millions, and without asking anyone for permission. But here's where almost everyone makes a fatal mistake. They think creating content means chasing views. It doesn't. Because millions of views can still make you broke. You'll discover why some creators with only 15,000 subscribers earn hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, while creators with millions of followers struggle to pay their bills. And that completely changes the rules of the game. The 4 leverages that create billionaires. For thousands of years, if you wanted to become wealthy, you needed one thing: people. Hundreds of workers, factories, machines, land, money. The rich stayed rich because they controlled the resources. Everyone else worked for them. But then, everything changed. The internet broke the rules. Not through luck, but through leverage. There are 4 forms of leverage that dominate today's economy. And if you ignore them, you're competing with one hand tied behind your back. Leverage number 1, code. Imagine writing something once and watching it work forever. That's software. Instagram doesn't manually connect billions of users. Its code does. Netflix doesn't personally deliver every movie. Its code does. Uber doesn't call every driver. Its code does. Software never gets tired. It never sleeps. It scales infinitely. One developer can create something used by hundreds of millions of people. That's why programmers aren't paid for their hours. They're paid for what their code can do. Without them. But here's something even more powerful. You don't even need to know how to code anymore, because another leverage has become available to everyone. Leverage 2. Media. 100 years ago, if you wanted millions of people to hear your voice, you needed permission. From a television station, a newspaper, a publisher, or a movie studio. Today, you need a phone. That's it. One camera, one microphone, one idea. That's enough to build an audience larger than entire countries. Every successful YouTube video, every podcast, every Instagram reel, every tweet is a digital employee working for you 24 hours a day. Even while you're sleeping, someone can discover your content, trust you, and become your customer. This is leverage. The attention economy. People think money runs the world. It doesn't. Attention does. Every billion-dollar company is fighting for one thing: your attention. Netflix, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, every single one competes for the same 24 hours you have each day, because wherever attention goes, money follows. And if you know how to capture attention, you own one of the most valuable assets in the modern economy. That's why creators are becoming entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are becoming media companies, and media companies are becoming trillion-dollar businesses. Attention has become the new oil. But here's the mistake. Almost everyone misunderstands this. They think more views means more money. It doesn't. In fact,
millions of views can leave you completely broke. The million view trap. Imagine 2 creators. The first one gets 10 million views every month. People laugh, watch, scroll, and leave. The second creator has only 15,000 subscribers. Almost nobody knows who he is. Yet, he earns over $200,000 every single month. How? Because he doesn't chase attention. He captures the right attention. He solves expensive problems for valuable people. One loyal customer can be worth more than 1 million random viewers. That's the difference between entertainment and business. Views don't build wealth. Trust does. Authority does. Solving problems does. That's why the smartest creators never ask, how do I go viral? They ask, whose problem can I solve? Because every problem is a business waiting to be built. But one question still remains. If information is now free, if everyone has Google and everyone has AI, why would anyone pay you?
the answer has nothing to do with information. It has everything to do with something AI can never copy: your reputation. And that's exactly what we'll uncover. The only thing AI can never replace. Let's be honest. Artificial intelligence is changing everything. It writes essays, designs logos, creates music, edits videos, even writes computer code. Every day,
thousands of jobs become easier, and some disappear completely. So here's the question. If AI can do almost everything, where will humans still be valuable? The answer isn't information. Information is now free.
Anyone can ask Google. Anyone can ask ChatGPT. Anyone can watch a YouTube tutorial. Knowledge has become a commodity. But there is one thing no machine can manufacture overnight: trust. People don't pay for information anymore. They pay for experience, judgment, perspective, credibility, and reputation. That's why two people can teach the exact same lesson, yet one charges $20 and the other charges $20,000. The difference isn't knowledge, it's perception, it's trust, it's brand. Your name is your greatest asset. Think about it. Why do millions of people buy an iPhone when cheaper phones exist? Why does someone pay hundreds of dollars for a Nike shoe instead of an identical sneaker? The answer isn't the product, it's the brand. Now apply that to a person. That's called a personal brand. When people trust your name, everything becomes easier. Your products sell faster, your opportunities multiply. People recommend you even when you're not in the room. Your reputation starts working for you. That's leverage. And unlike algorithms, unlike trends, unlike AI, a genuine reputation compounds for decades.
But here's the mistake. Most creators focus on going viral instead of becoming valuable. Virality fades. Value compounds. One creates dopamine, the other creates wealth. The biggest lesson Naval ever shared. Naval believes the goal isn't to become famous. The goal is to become so useful that people can't ignore you. Every successful business, every successful creator, every billionaire solves an expensive problem. The bigger the problem, the bigger the reward. So stop asking, how can I make money? Start asking, what problem can I solve better than almost anyone else? Because money is simply a reward for creating value. Nothing more, nothing less. For generations, people believed wealth belonged to those born into powerful families, those with money, connections, or luck. But history has changed. Today, one laptop, one internet connection, one camera, and one valuable idea can reach more people than the largest television networks of the 20th century. The greatest leverage in history is now available to almost everyone. The only question is, will you use it? Because 10 years from now, you'll either look back and realize you spent another decade trading time for money, or you'll remember that today was the day you started building assets instead of hours. Remember, the people who become wealthy don't work more. They multiply their work. And that's the difference between making a living and building a fortune. If this video changed the way you think about money, then don't stop here, because this was only the beginning. In the next episode, we'll break down Naval Ravikant's complete wealth creation framework, the mental models used by some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. Until then, stop selling your time. Start building leverage, because your future self is depending on the decision you make today. If you liked it, please tell us in the comments. Subscribe and share.